At the beginning of the story, a man named Royce is shown falling down from the sky toward the ground, completely unconscious. While falling, Royce suddenly regains consciousness. In the panic, he couldn't figure out what to do. He started trying to open his parachute, but the air pressure was so intense that his parachute had stopped working. He kept getting closer and closer to the ground. But then, just as he reached about 100 meters from the ground, his parachute suddenly opened. However, it was already too late, and he crashed straight through tree branches and fell to the ground. Royce suddenly regains consciousness and gets up groaning. Finding himself trapped in the middle of a dense jungle, he has absolutely no idea which jungle he's in or why he ended up here. He was still thinking all of this through when suddenly another man falls right behind him, just like Royce had. As soon as this man gets up, he points his gun at Royce, because he also has no idea how he ended up falling into this jungle. This man's name was Cuchillo. Seeing this, Royce tells Cuchillo not to shoot. He was about to shoot and kill Royce right then. Royce grabs his pistol from behind, but then suddenly, yet again, someone fell very hard right between the two of them. Seeing this, Royce said it looked like this one's parachute didn't open either, and that was actually true. The third man's parachute truly hadn't opened, which caused his bones to be completely shattered. Both of them were still looking at him when suddenly someone started firing a machine gun on them indiscriminately. Both ran and started hiding, and then just as the gun came to reload, Royce came from behind and got the drop on him and said, "Stop shooting at us." Here, Nikolai became convinced that Royce wasn't his enemy. Actually, Nikolai was an army soldier who also had no idea how he ended up here. He explained that suddenly there was a bright light, and then when his eyes opened, he was falling from the sky. Meaning the same thing had happened to all of them that had happened to Royce. But then a girl named Isabelle was also standing far away, pointing a sniper at them. Here, Royce tells her to lower her weapon. Isabelle tells them that she's never seen a jungle like this, and that she's spotted many more parachutes. Hearing this, Royce started moving in the direction she indicated. Now, because Isabelle wanted to know who had thrown all of them out of a plane, she started following right behind them. Just then, another man was shown coming from behind them, quite well dressed. This man's name was Hanzo. He first removed both his shoes, looked back once, and started walking behind them. Moving forward, it was shown that this entire jungle looked very strange, when suddenly two men were shown fighting each other, brawling very badly. Just as the man in prison uniform picked up a piece of wood to kill the black man, his eyes suddenly fell on all of them. Both of them calmed down, seeing their guns. When asked who they were, both told their names. The black man's name was Mombasa, and the man in the prison uniform's name was Stans. Both of them had also fallen from the sky just like the others and were dangling on palm trees. And another man was also found actually hanging from a tree because his parachute had gotten badly tangled in the tree. Seeing this, Royce shoots the branch holding the parachute, causing the man to fall into the water. This man's name was Dr. Edwin. Now, since the same thing had happened to him too, everyone set out searching for their destination. While they had no idea what was happening to them there, Mombasa's eyes then fell on the man who had been quite well-dressed and had removed his shoes. He was very quietly looking up at something. Seeing this, everyone started moving toward him. In front of them, something large like a wing of a spaceship had fallen in this very jungle, which forced them to think about why exactly this was happening to them. Here it became clear that the man who had removed his shoes, Hanzo, was not someone separate. The same thing had happened to him as to these other survivors. Near that wing, quite a large pile of skulls and bones was also lying on the ground. Seeing this, Isabelle says, "Who could have done this?" Hearing this, everyone's throats started going dry. Everyone felt that perhaps some game was being played with them and a large amount of money was being demanded. Now, without caring about what was happening here or how all this had happened, everyone decided to get out of this jungle. Moving forward, just as Nikolai was about to touch a strange plant in that jungle, Edwin suddenly stopped him, saying that the name of this thing was Archaea fracturus laningensis, which was extremely poisonous relative to its size. If its saliva touched a human body, that person could become completely paralyzed. As everyone had been walking for a while, they were quite exhausted. So everyone decided to rest in one spot, when Isabelle showed Royce a strange thing. She actually placed a small twig on a leaf and put it in water, and the leaf started spinning in the same spot, meaning there was absolutely no current in the water here. Just then, Royce remembered that since he had fallen from the sky into this jungle, the sun had been stuck in the same spot, meaning the sun had been fixed in one place. Seeing this, Royce says this means we are in very big trouble. Right here, Royce tells Isabelle about who everyone is, someone who grew up in a Japanese mafia family. Nikolai is a Russian soldier of a terrorist group. Mombasa is a brave soldier of a death squad. Stans is the FBI's biggest criminal. Meanwhile, Cuchillo is the undisputed king of the drug world in Mexico, and Edwin is a very intelligent doctor. After telling all this, Royce says, we are all fighters. Here, Isabelle can't understand at all what is going on. Moving forward, a large cage appeared in front of them. When everyone nervously removed the parachute from on top of it, the cage was completely empty. Now, because this cage had also fallen from the sky just like them, looking at it, Mombasa says there were no humans in it. And this was also true because some insects were seen coming out from inside that cage. But then, just as Stans looked upward, it turned out there wasn't just one cage up there, but quite a many similar ones had been dropped from the sky. Now their danger had increased from 50% to 75% from this point. They didn't even know where they were all going or in which direction, when Mombasa's foot hit a tentacle from a tree and he fell down. At that same moment, a large wooden structure covered itself and started coming toward all of them. But something saved everyone. As soon as this happened, large, sharp wooden arrows started raining down on them. While dodging them, Isabelle started running when suddenly her foot went into a trap. There was a very large pit where large, sharp arrows had been placed. Isabelle started screaming loudly to save herself. Royce heard her screams and immediately moved forward to rescue her. On the other side, Hanzo was about to fall into a very large trap while running. But apparently he was lucky. Here, just as Royce saved Isabelle, at the same moment Isabelle was stunned to see a dead man because that man was in very bad condition. Dr. Edwin says, looking at the body, it appears this person has been dead for about 2 weeks. Actually, this was a U.S. Army soldier. In reality, this dying soldier had been sent to Afghanistan. But what he was doing here, they had absolutely no clue about this. Now, who had set this trap and for whom? They didn't know that either. Meaning from here we can understand that all those people were completely in the dark here. When everyone started moving forward from here, Isabelle noticed that Mombasa was looking at a tree in a very strange way. At the same moment, it was shown that there was something on the tree that was completely invisible, and it was watching Mombasa. Mombasa's condition also seemed to be getting quite bad because he had seen the invisible thing. When Isabelle asked, "What did you see?" he ignored her words as if he didn't know anything. Moving a little further ahead, they saw something that made the ground slip from under their feet. Actually, all of them were not on our own Earth at all. Rather, they were all surviving on some completely different planet. Then something started moving toward them very quickly. Hearing the sound of its running, everyone started trembling, when suddenly a strange kind of dog attacked them. Seeing it, everyone started emptying their guns' bullets on it. As soon as that dog was killed, another dog dropped in. Actually, in this jungle, there were not just one but quite a many alien dogs present. One dog attacked the prisoner and climbed on top of him. He started screaming to save himself. Hearing his voice, Mombasa came near him and finished off that dog right there. Meanwhile, a dog got after the doctor, but Isabelle shot it dead with her sniper. Meanwhile, Royce also sliced off one dog's throat entirely. But just as one alien dog started moving toward Isabelle, her sniper suddenly ran out of ammo. Not only that, she was shooting it with her pistol, but the bullets had no effect on it at all. So when Isabelle felt that she was about to become its meal, she decided to finish herself off. But then suddenly something happened that was enough to make anyone stop and think. A strange whistle blew, and hearing the whistle sound, that dog tucked its tail and ran away from there. Now, why had this happened? To find out this very thing, everyone decided to move forward when Mombasa told everyone to stop. "One of us is missing." At the same moment, a strange sound came. "Save me." Actually, this voice was Cuchillo's. Everyone moved forward to see that Cuchillo had been placed in the jungle in an injured state. Hearing his screams, Royce picked up a stone, and as soon as he threw it close to him, it turned out that a very large trap had been set there for them. Now, since they had to save themselves, they all moved on from there. Now, Cuchillo was in quite a lot of pain. So Isabelle shot him with her gun and put him to rest forever. But even after being shot, Cuchillo kept screaming. Actually, the invisible thing had already killed him earlier, and it had a very advanced device with it that was working like a speaker, in which Cuchillo's voice was loaded. Moving along, everyone reached a place where quite a many dogs of this planet had been killed and hung up, from which we and they came to know that on this planet, neither animals nor humans were safe at all. Then everyone's eyes went to a beast tied up there that looked very strange. Nikolai touched that beast with his machine gun, and suddenly it woke up, becoming very agitated and screaming loudly. Then everyone noticed that Royce had already fled from there. At the same time, suddenly quite a many rods pierced into Mombasa's body, and he was killed right then. Everyone had also noticed that the invisible thing had come to this place. Everyone started firing their guns on it to save themselves. Actually, Royce hadn't fled at all, but had already assessed that invisible thing. When that invisible thing started firing on them with its advanced gun, they all immediately fell through a waterfall into the water. And now it was shown that all the invisible things started appearing, where it was revealed that they were not just one, but quite a many. Along with them, those alien dogs were also present. In the next scene, all the surviving survivors were sitting and resting, when during this Isabelle noticed something strange. There was something running around them, so to kill it, they used Doctor as bait. The running doctor started screaming loudly, and that strange thing was right behind the doctor. Just as it was about to kill the doctor, Isabelle shot with her gun. Going up close to see, it turned out this was an alien that lived on this very earth. Royce said, "You got a good shot," but Isabelle says, "I had missed." At the same moment, a strange whispering sound started frightening them, when suddenly those very invisible people, meaning the beasts, came behind Royce. But just as he removed his mask, it was revealed that this was also just a human whose name was Ronald Nolan. He started taking all of them to a place where some large joined spaceship-like things could be seen. He took them inside through a small gap. After going inside, Ronald explains that he has been hiding from those beasts on this very planet for the past 3 out of 4 years. At this same time, it became clear that the trap they had encountered at the beginning, that trap had actually been set by Ronald himself so that he could catch those beasts. And the trap in which Cuchillo was caught had been set by those advanced aliens, meaning the beasts. That's why, when Royce threw a stone into it, electricity started flowing through it. The condition inside was very bad. Here, Ronald told everyone that the predators had first kidnapped them from Earth by knocking them unconscious and had brought all of them, and left them on this unknown planet in their game preserves so that they could hunt them. But it wasn't really about hunting at all. Those beasts wanted to test their strength. That's why they hadn't captured ordinary people, but had captured army soldiers and some powerful prisoners, along with the intelligent doctor. From this, we also got the clue about why, when Isabelle was about to kill herself during the dogs' attacks, a whistle blew and all the dogs fled. Actually, the whistle had been blown by those beasts themselves. Some years ago from now, something like this had already happened, in which the soldier found dead near that trap was in very bad condition. And along with Ronald, there were many such fighting soldier humans who were killed in the same way. But Ronald was an army soldier, so he survived and has been surviving on this planet while hiding his life from them. Now, because Ronald was quite exhausted, he went off to sleep. Isabelle and Royce were talking to each other when Royce noticed that quite strange and weird smoke had started coming there. Seeing this, Royce woke everyone up, and Ronald had already disappeared from his bed. Royce completely understood that Ronald had some plan here, and now they were all caught in his trap. And this was also true. The doctor's condition started deteriorating from the smoke. But then Royce saw that Ronald's mental state had deteriorated. In reality, this had happened because he had been living on this planet for many years. That's why he wanted to seize all their weapons so he could somehow get off this planet. Locking them inside, Ronald started fleeing from there. But then a beast came right in front of him and, aiming at his head, blasted his entire body like a balloon. And in the blink of an eye, Ronald was dead. Inside, Stan started banging on the door hard, trying to break it. But during this, from outside, the beast started breaking down that door from the outside. Seeing this, everyone's nerves tightened. Very carefully, Royce fired a flare gun from the other side and found out that the beast had disappeared from there. So now everyone came outside and started trying to flee from there. Moving forward, the doctor lost his way and started shouting and calling out loudly, and that was his biggest mistake. He first lit a flare he had with him where he couldn't see anyone. But as soon as he lit and threw the second flare right in front of him, that beast was standing there invisible, and now it started moving toward that very doctor. Hearing the sound of it walking, everyone started moving toward it. But now it was too late. At that same moment, Nikolai suddenly arrived there and started shooting the beast with his gun while running, saving the doctor, and started fleeing from there. But that beast shot Nikolai with its advanced gun, injuring him very badly, and moving forward, drove the weapon attached to its hand into Nikolai's chest and lifted Nikolai up. Seeing this, the doctor somehow managed to flee from there, saving his life. But that was the beast's biggest mistake. Nikolai activated 2 bombs he had with him, causing a very powerful blast, and Nikolai, along with the beast itself, was killed. Seeing this, Stans became very happy and started screaming loudly. But then suddenly another beast fired a gun at Stans and injured him right there. The beast was about to shoot and kill Royce. Stans, from behind, climbed on top of the beast and started injuring it very badly. Taking advantage of this very thing, everyone got the chance to flee from there. But now that beast had gotten very angry, so it tore apart Stans's body and ripped out his spine from his head down to the bottom. Here it was shown that many beasts had gotten on their trail to kill them, and using their modern technology, found out which route they had gone and in which direction. Running, Hanzo now sensed that a beast had come near him. So he sent everyone ahead and got ready himself. Now, because he had come to know that those beasts, the predators, had brought them there to fight, he took out his sword and started fighting it. At first, the beast was overpowering Hanzo, but now Hanzo had started injuring it. Moving forward rapidly, Hanzo sliced it open, due to which the beast was killed by Hanzo's hands. But then it turned out that Hanzo's throat had also been cut by its sharp sword, due to which both of them died. Running, the doctor got caught in a trap set by the beast. Here Royce said that this person would have to be left here now because this was their trick, because this trap hadn't been set to kill them, but to cripple them so they couldn't escape. But when Isabelle didn't go, leaving him alone, he himself left from there. Just as they freed him from the trap and tried to get out from there, both got caught in the beast's net. Here it was shown that Royce ran away from there and reached the very place where the beasts had tied up one of their own companions, meaning one of their enemies. Not knowing what he was thinking, Royce freed him from captivity, and as soon as that beast was freed, it moved forward quickly and grabbed Royce by the throat. In reality, Royce told it that in exchange for freeing it, he wanted it to take him to its spaceship. And after preparing its suit, it showed him the location of his Earth through a hologram, and along with this, it also showed him its spaceship, which had already been made invisible. But now, the super predators came to the classic predator. But before they arrived, the classic predator had already started the spaceship, and both started fighting very badly. Now here let me make this clear. The classic predator and the super predators were 2 different factions. The super predators were the new and aggressive species, and the classic was the old species. A conflict was going on between these 2. That's why when Royce freed it, it started siding with him. Here now the super predator was overpowering it. It kept shooting it with its advanced gun, injuring the classic predator, which caused it to fall down injured. Moving forward and going to see it, it turned out that the classic predator had disappeared from there. And it came back quickly and attacked the super predator again, but here too the super predator overpowered it. Injuring it, it grabbed it by the throat, and as soon as it removed its helmet, its terrifying face was shown, which looked extremely frightening. Meanwhile, running, Royce saw that the spaceship was activated and completely ready to fly. Now, before it was too late, Royce quickly moved forward and sat in it and started heading to space. Meanwhile, the super predator moved forward and, activating the ship, blasted the bomb placed in it, due to which Royce, along with the whole ship, was blown up in the explosion. Meanwhile, just as Dr. Edwin was about to kill Isabelle completely, Royce arrived there at that moment. In reality, Royce had already gotten wind that something was about to go wrong. That's why he hadn't boarded the ship. As soon as Edwin saw him, he started behaving normally. Pulling both of them, Royce got them out of the pit. But this time, Edwin tried to paralyze Royce too. Royce immediately turned around and drove that same knife into Edwin's throat, due to which Edwin writhed and died. Sometime later, just as the super predator came near Edwin and tried to turn him over and look at him, suddenly a big explosion occurred there, which badly injured it. Actually, this trap had been set by Royce himself, and now Royce himself appeared in front of it and started badly misleading it by setting fire there, because the predator's way of seeing was not at all like that of humans. That's why Royce beat it quite a lot first. This time, it sensed Royce's heartbeat and fired at him, and now the beast started killing Royce. Meanwhile, Isabelle spotted her sniper lying on the ground, but because she herself was paralyzed, her hands weren't working. And meanwhile, the beast grabbed Royce by the throat and lifted him up, and just as it was about to kill him with its sharp weapon, Isabelle suddenly shot it. But in return, the beast threw its weapon, which went straight and hit her shoulder. Seeing this, Royce got very angry and, picking up its very own axe, sliced its throat, due to which the super predator's head was separated from its body, and it was killed right there. From here, the scene shifts to show morning time, where Royce and Isabelle had both survived. Isabelle was now slowly recovering from the paralysis. Both of them looked up at the sky and saw that just like those very people of theirs, people were again starting to fall via parachutes. Meaning the game still wasn't over. This was just the trailer. The picture is still yet to come, my friend.